Welcome everybody to the Kubernetes 1.10 release burndown meeting. It is Thursday, March 22nd, 2018. I'm Jay Singer-Dumars, your host and release team leader. And we're going to kick off the meeting. If you're viewing this after the fact and want to see the release or the meeting notes and agenda, it's available at bit.ly/kates110-burndown. I'm going to share my screen here, and with any luck, it'll work. And let's see. All right, does that look like it's shared properly?
Yep.
Are we seeing? Good, okay. All right, so let's run through the timeline. I'm gonna actually push the confidence check to the end until we discuss things. But for now, I wanted to talk about some of the things in flight. So there's one, this PR here that I just was discussing in the release channel. I was hoping maybe somebody had some context on this. Anybody know anything about this? Crickets. Okay, because this seems really weird. I don't know where this came from. So it's, for one, it's a cherry pick candidate, but it's actually it's connecting to the 110 branch, which is not correct. So at the very least, these people are going to need to put this into master and then cherry pick back into 110, unless there's something about this having to be some branch specific commit, which I am highly opposed to just on the merit of it. So I guess I'll figure out more information. I sent a private message to Martin about this, and hopefully I can get some more clarification. But if nobody knows, then we'll move on. Let's talk about this. Caleb, you're on. This is actually, I think, in your court to approve the cherry pick that goes for this thing, which is somewhere here, this cherry pick. Any thoughts on this, Caleb?
No, I can just go ahead and do it.
Okay, great.
The cherry pick hasn't happened yet. So the question is, we just had 2 new issues opened in SIG storage regarding host path.
Okay.
I invited Michelle here to join us.
All right.
If you actually bring up the issue tracking spreadsheet, you can easily bring both those issues up. No, to the spreadsheet. I haven't had time to update the burndown report yet.
Okay. Why am I not finding it? It's here somewhere. There it is, spreadsheet. Aha. Cool.
So yeah, so there's 2 in there. And so I guess my question for Michelle gets simpler. So 61146, go to lines 27 and 28.
Okay. Yeah, so, and the question is, does this actually have bearing on this cherry pick, or does it change?
Yeah, right. In other words, is the cherry pick expected to resolve
Yeah.
those issues, or are they new issues?
No, they're 2 different issues.
Okay. Yeah, and then of course the second question is, are they 110 blockers?
I would argue no, they are not 110 blockers because there are workarounds for it.
Okay, and are those workarounds documented somewhere, or do we need to put them in as known issues if we release in 110?
Yeah, we probably need to put them in known issues and document it.
Okay. Who is on deck to be able to do that?
I could do that.
Okay.
They should go in the release notes, or is there a known issues section?
There is a known issues section, but it can link out to an external document. We did that for another fix.
until we didn't anymore. There's the known issues tracker too. That might, I mean, Nick should speak to this, but the known issues tracker might be a better place to put it.
Yeah, and Nick's not going to be able to make it, I don't think. So
okay, I'm sorry. I saw him in Slack. But I'll go find a known issues tracker if we need it. And then he and I can sort what should go where. I'm having done this once already.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those, I mean, at least if the report's correct, looks pretty bad in terms of you can't use synpath volumes with containerized kublets at all.
Yes, but I mean, the use case of using host path with subpath is questionable to begin with.
Okay.
And there's a very easy workaround for it.
Okay.
Okay, so just to put a bow on this and to put it in the notes about what's going to happen here. Let me first copy these two things here. So we can put these in the notes. So those two, oh no, paste unlinked. No, bad Google, bad. So those two issues, and basically we need to document known issues and workarounds for these two. And that is all right, cool. So you three are on deck to make that magic happen and get that into the correct place. Is that right? Nick, Jennifer, and Michelle?
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm going to copy those. I'm going to copy those issues into the known issues accumulator just so that we've got a place where Nick and I go. Yeah. And we'll sort it one way or another.
Great, thank you so much.
Can I ask Michelle just a really quick question right now? I mean, it sounds like this is really an edge case. If you've got any thoughts about whether we need something in the core docs or whether known issues in the /rel notes, that would be helpful. You can ping me in Slack. We don't need to take up any more time in this meeting about it.
Sure, sounds good.
All right, so moving on to the scale regression that we've been chasing down. I don't know if Shyam's on this call or not. I'm going to, again, curse the fact that when you're presenting, it makes everything harder. It does not look like it. But last I heard on this, and anybody can pipe up if they have more info, but essentially it looks like it's been found and identified and there's a fix that needs to be in place. I don't know if any work has been done to generate a PR for that yet, but it doesn't seem like it. We'll definitely keep everybody posted on that. No info from anybody here on that? Okay, stay tuned in the release channel. So without knowing more about that, it does make the next conversation a little bit uncertain.
We also have some new issues of uncertain severity.
Oh boy.
Yeah, if you actually look at that issue tracking spreadsheet again, you'll see there's a bunch of new issues on the bottom. A couple of them have already been dismissed.
Okay.
Sen, are you on?
Yeah.
We got some new test failures reported by you. And also is the large clusters failing to come up resolved?
Which one is that?
So that's 481. Or were you involved in that one? Sorry, once we get into the meeting, I no longer have access to the rest of my desktop. So
sorry, Josh.
Look.
But the two that you reported were 483 and 485.
Yeah. So let me see. The 483 is the kubeadmin one. which seems we got no traction on that yet.
This one right here. Okay.
Kubeadmin 1.9 on 1.10.
Okay.
I'm not sure why. A pin cluster lifecycle, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure why it's in 110 blocking because there's no equivalent one on master blocking.
Yeah, I think there was a question about that, whether it should have been or not. And also that the role of that text file that gets generated by Anago and if that should actually be 404ing right now versus giving us something. So let's just get cluster lifecycle involved. Maybe Tim will be able to help with that. Jennifer, you can just go grab Tim by the ear and drag him around.
Well, right now I'm upstairs and he's downstairs, but yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, I'll grab him at dinner tonight.
Okay. I like having physical access to our people so we can, coerce them in person. That's good. Okay. So is there anything else in here that looks particularly problematic that we need to chase down?
The large clusters refusing to come up. That was unfortunate. That was Shyam, and so the fix for it. The fix got merged. I have no idea what the results were.
Okay.
And then the others are sort of unverified things. I just got word from scheduling on the text preemption one, and they say that is not a blocker. And then I haven't had a chance to investigate the other two with their respective SIGs yet.
Okay. So
webhook service reference is not a blocker because it is not new to 110.
Okay.
So the only one that's completely uninvestigated is test rolling update.
And the GC soak, is that?
The GC soak, right. And the two, the two.
The soak one is just keep timing out. I bumped the timeout for 2 hours and it's like still timing out. I'll try to bump more for that. But my question is did we add so many tests into 110?
Well, is there a way to do a diff on the manifest to see see how many tests are in 1.9 versus 1.10, or is there a way to do that?
I think I need to get a full run and diff the test output.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll bump the timeout a little bit more, see if it can finish.
Okay. I'm starting to get this queasy feeling that we're not going to make Monday.
But that job is not release blocking though.
Yeah, I know that. It's just, if there's some reasonable reason why it's timing out, I'm fine with that. But if it indicates that there's some underlying instability that's causing it to do that, then I definitely want to investigate.
Right, agree.
So, okay, so just to put a bow on this, Josh. So we're gonna try and figure out. We've got something in flight for the host path fixes. The cluster failing is not blocking right now because assuming that it's being fixed or is going to get resolved. The kubeadm job, we're going to talk to SIG cluster lifecycle again and figure out what that is. Soak, we're going to wait and get more information from Sen as that is resolved. These are unknown but not blocking. And this last one is currently...
Just have not had any chance to look at it yet.
Okay. It's being labeled as a flake.
Inputs here.
Both of those last two just were populated initially with very little information. So rather than ignore them, we wanted to try and chase down some details to make a solid call.
Yeah. No, that's always err on the side of more caution than less. So that's great. Thank you. Looks like there's a PR in place.
Yeah, this looks like a test-only fix.
Yeah, that's sure what it's looking like, and it's definitely being attributed as a flake. So I think that
Yeah, okay, so non-blocker. Okay.
let's call it a non-blocker until it comes in and haunts us.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, we've got a bead on what we need to fix. It doesn't seem like right now that any of that stuff is really that particularly worrisome.
Right. The issue is, did we fix the performance problem or not?
Right. Which looks like a yes from all the information I have thus far.
Or
But
problems, more accurately.
we've identified the problem, so if we're able to do whatever it takes to get those PRs in place to fix it, then the question is, can we get those done and approved and enough visibility on those today and tomorrow in order to make the release on Monday? Well, I guess we'll have Monday too, technically, to let things soak. Because we don't usually release until PM.
Yeah, the thing is, performance tests take a while to run. So are we waiting on more performance tests?
That's a good question.
If we're waiting on more performance tests, that means a full day after pushing something.
Yep. Yeah, so we need to follow up with Sean. He's around. All right. Okay, so before we get to the confidence check, I want to announce to the team that Josh Burkus has kindly offered as tribute, sacrificial tribute to the 111 release Daemon as lead. And we're still going to be taking other people who might be interested in. And if there's contention around it, then we'll just vote or have some discussion around it. There's also obviously an opening for whoever's going to be the shadow for that release to help Josh out. So if you always wanted to do some of the release team lead stuff, but not necessarily all the responsibility, that's a great opportunity to do that. And also primes you up if you want to take on 112. So.
Yay, Josh.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so last thing in this current cycle here is let's get a confidence check from the folks in the virtual room here. How confident? Let me put it this way: does anybody feel like there's a likelihood that we are not going to hit Monday? Like, does Monday feel completely, totally out of question to anybody in the room?
It's not totally out of the question.
Okay.
However, I personally would assign the possibility that we're not going to hit Monday at least 30%.
Okay. Other thoughts?
I'd like to get more context on the performance thing.
Okay.
Until we see a PR for the stuff associated with 6589, I feel like it's hard to say, but Monday feels at risk.
I'm the optimist here. We'll hit Monday.
Oh, damns.
Does anyone know if the blog has there been more edits to the blog? Because I would be concerned about that for a Monday release. At least from when I looked at it last on Tuesday.
The blog is basically looking pretty close. There are a couple of things in there. It's going to be a little bit skinny compared to prior blogs because this release is largely not net new. It's net plus plus on existing things. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what can be done there. Have you looked at the blog? So you said Tuesday was the last time you saw it, Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to have more people look at it, honestly. I don't feel like it's a blocker for Monday though. But let me ask Natasha if that's the case in her book. I don't think it is.
No, I mean, I don't think it's a blocker. Ideally, we do need to get a draft to media to start writing their stories, and I do need to let some of the companies in our little sphere here know that there has been changes. For example, I had a company reach out to Jason and I yesterday who thought Kubernetes was still in the release, and so I just need to give an FYI for people who are planning blogs on Monday what features are going to be in there and are going to be promoted. So, I'm fine having reviews and changes made as long as I have something that we're comfortable with just letting people know, like, these are the features and this is what you should write your stories around, this is what you should do your blogs around. And then we can make finalizations to the blog even as early as Monday morning before we post.
Okay. Latest news here looks like a post recently on this and a PR in place for the scalability issue. Am I correct here? And is that what I'm seeing, Tim?
Yep, that's what it looks like. I just pinged in SIGNode to see if there was any more update and was referred to that PR, and the latest comments look good, but it still needs cherry pick.
Yeah, any of us can do the cherry pick, but somebody want to volunteer?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you, Dims. Okay. And let's see approval status on this sucker. LGTM approved, proof of milestone's there. Okay, so this is going to merge soon. Okay, fantastic. So my confidence just shot up in Monday. I'd
I'm
say
ready to revise to I think we'll make Monday now. Dims was right.
Dims, man, there's magic. Dims has the magic.
He's a couple time zones ahead of everybody. He gets this stuff faster.
Come on, people.
All right. There we go. Okay, cool. So, all right. Barring anybody saying things right now, I'd say that we are over the line of confidence that we can assume that it's going to ship on Monday, barring any terrible things happening in the meantime, which can always happen. All right. Natasha, that is your cue to roll film on this. We're gonna try and make the Monday date.
Okay, no, that sounds good. What time are you still thinking it's going to be 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific time? Do you have a sense in that?
That's typically it. It's really Caleb is the lever puller for that. So it's okay. Caleb, what's your schedule look like Monday?
I plan on at least staging the release Monday morning before I leave for work, and then pulling the lever when I get in.
Okay, and then when does it actually ship based on all the run and all that?
It'll ship no more than an hour afterwards, assuming the staging goes well. If the staging doesn't go well and I have to build on my machine, then the release will take somewhere between 3 and 6 hours to release there.
Okay.
So it'll be later in the afternoon.
So we should say to everybody to expect it at 5 or 6 p.m. And if it's out before then hurrah. But let's build in that padding in case you have to build it on your machine.
Sounds good to me.
And then in terms, go on.
No, go ahead, Natasha.
I was just going to say, in terms of the media for their stories, and any companies that are putting out blog posts on Monday, normally I would just say, go ahead and that I would just give them the time of like 5 p.m. to post.
Yeah.
Anything 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then even if it ships a little early, we will just plan on that being the time that we post the blog to coordinate with everybody else versus having to go back to X amount of people and say, oh, by the way, you can post a couple hours early.
Yeah. I doubt anybody's going to be hitting refresh on the on the releases page to see when it comes up. Although it does, Anago does send a notification out to the lists. I mean, I suppose in the past we've embargoed that thing. Caleb, what do you think about embargoing the announcement to Kubernetes announce and to Kubernetes dev until 5 p.m. if you ship it?
That sounds fine. If assuming I'm building on in the cloud, it just creates an issue anyway, so I have to actually manually copy and paste the thing.
Oh, okay.
Put it out. So yeah, that's no problem from my end.
Okay, let's do that then. Then it's essentially a dark release for until the 5 p.m. time frame.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, because I mean, you'd be surprised who follows the chains very closely and hits refresh on their computer.
Okay. Well, the tag will be out there either way.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. All right, then that's the plan. 5 p.m. Civic.
Okay, I'll start notifying some of the media and the members for that, and then any interview requests that I get, Jace, I'll send it over to you, Caleb, and Eeyore to help tackle some of those.
Okay, great.
And please go into my media Q&A and fill out some of those responses.
Yeah.
That way, if we get a lot of questions or a lot of people interested, I don't have you guys on the phone. Tomorrow I can easily just send that, and that'll take care of a lot of interviews.
Yes. So I started to work on this yesterday. I'll do more of it today. And anybody else who wants to do that, please do. There's a link in the Burndown meeting down under marketing.
Yep, and it's six simple questions. Again, you can just add a couple sentences if you would like.
Yes. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and quick run through the metrics. Open issues and milestone, there's 5. I believe we've already gone over those, courtesy of Josh's spreadsheet. Open PRs, there's 3. And those are listed here, those guys. So this is the fix for the scalability. This is that for the storage fix. And this, I am not sure about. So it's Sham, so it seems like it's had good visibility, but I don't know if this is intended to cherry pick into 110. We'll have to find out. If that's the plan. It's in the milestone, but I don't know if that means that he's planning on cherry picking or not. So let's ask Shem about that. Right. Sen, do you want to go through anything else for test failures?
I think I've covered both of those.
Okay.
Yeah. I bumped the timeout again and see if that brings the subtask to green.
Okay. Documentation. Jennifer, do you want to quickly run through anything?
Sure. I would actually call the state of documentation at this point chartreuse. It's not really quite yellow. So, I'm in high plan B mode at this point.
Okay.
But things, there's nothing there, that's going to delay the release.
Okay. That is the magic news right there. Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, I sit down with Andrew tomorrow and decipher my merge mysteries. I think I've got it cleared up, but this is just me being still kind of, hand waving when I get to Git.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. I want to do this one. I want to do in this meeting. I did it in the Slack channel yesterday because you referred to this earlier in this meeting, Jace. So the release note doc coordination that Nick and I did was around the PVC PV downgrade issue. That is now out of the docs, documented only in release notes as saying, okay, if you want to downgrade to 1.9, go to 1.9.6. We are all good with this? I'm just speak now or forever hold your peace, because I spent a fair amount of time on that PR yesterday afternoon, and then Jordan comes in and says, oh, no, we don't need it. So if I need to revive it, it needs to happen today.
So I don't know that there's enduring documentation in the things about downgrades and whatnot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's something. I think that's a sort of point in time documentation that doesn't necessarily translate into enduring docs.
Yep. When this issue was looking pretty critical, we were putting it in the enduring docs, getting ready to yank it when it was no longer needed, right?
Right.
Just because it was a longer, more complex process. Now we can point people to a specific patch release and say, go there, do not pass go, etc.
Yeah. To me, that feels right.
Okay, good.
Because as a cluster operator, when I'm going to do an upgrade, I always read the release notes. Yep. And always go to the action required or known issues, just so that I understand the risk of updating. Yep. So I, as a cluster operator, if I put that hat on, I don't imagine myself going to the docs and searching for upgrade or downgrade information.
Right.
So.
The only way people were going to find it was from a link from release notes. So.
Precisely. Yeah. So, okay. That seems fine to me. Anybody else disagree? Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're good to go on that one then. That change is already in place. I don't need to revert anything.
Fantastic. So then marketing, we kind of got the rundown from Natasha already. If there's anything else you want to add, let me know. Okay.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. And then release notes update from Nick in chat was, here's my update, running behind on editing, but we'll have it all done today. Expect markdown version tomorrow morning. Anybody who doesn't respond to comments by then will have to live with our interpretation of their release notes. We will run TLDR by the SIGs in Slack. So there we go. And I will paste that in the meeting notes so we have it.
And I would just like to point out on Nick's behalf, this is the earliest the release notes have ever been ready to go.
Oh yeah, fantastic. And we're also the earliest we've ever identified a release lead too. So these are good. These are pieces that are critical to success that are starting to move forward in the process. So this is good. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Anybody have announcements, questions, concerns that they want to run through before we adjourn? Okay. Thank you, everybody. As always, your participation in this is the reason that this all works. This is 100% you. So thank you all so very much. And I will see you tomorrow in our hopefully penultimate release team meeting.
And I will just remind you here, I won't be in tomorrow's meeting because I will be in the air. But I think Nick and I have been doing a pretty good job of tag teaming it. And if anything comes up docs related tomorrow, you know what? It's not going to make it into the release anyway.
Yeah, true that. All right. Everybody take care. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.